Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. That was a quick cutoff.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Hello.
My fade wasn't slow enough. Oh, that's
Now we're being nitpicky. Welcome to the show, everybody. The
From
Tesla
ludicrous to
Light
zero. Break your heart, Russell.
number 126 here for December the 12th. No, it's December 4th. December 4th, 2019. We're jumping ahead already. But welcome to the show. And look at the
It's any sign of how this show's going to go tonight.
We got tons of people here tonight.
Hey, everybody.
So let's start with our solar friend in San Diego. Mr. Russell Frost joins us this evening. How are you today?
hello from the bottom left corner of America, and I'm going to take Patrick's line where it is rainy and gray today.
Stole my intro.
I do want to make one special announcement. By unanimous acclamation, we all agreed all 60 minutes of this week's show is going to be about the Unsworth trial. I'm lying.
Shut
Zero
up, Peter guy.
Okay, just kidding. Just kidding.
Also joining us from the other side of the country, Mr. Casey Green joins us from the Washington, D.C. area.
All the way from the middle right side of the country.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's also rainy and gray. And I have to walk in it because I'm Ubering, because my car's in the shop.
Oh,
Tesla.
Yes, my Tesla is in the shop.
You've got Tesla Uber credits.
Tesla Uber credits.
Wow.
But it does have the new computer installed, so whenever I get it back, it will be in need of calibration, and then after that, it should be ready to drive itself whenever it gets new software.
We shall see, and
Allegedly.
and wait for the updates of that car.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
So you're getting the new FSD computer?
It's done.
Awesome.
Now they're working on the shutter fix, and so after I get it back and calibrate it, I'll be ready for Elon's feature complete by the end of the year.
Good luck with that. I hope you get it.
It'll probably be just early access users, and it'll probably be delayed.
Well, I am sure we will get an update as it goes along, won't we, Casey?
Oh, it's actually pinging me. It's like update me, and then I look in the app, and then I go and it says your car in service. So I can't do anything about it.
Right. They want, because you were beeping the horn too many times. They had to shut it down.
No, I have been perfect every time it's in service. I did update it twice while it was in service, but only while they had it outside and they were closed for the night.
They didn't want people hitting the summons button while the cars.
Also joining us from the middle of the country, Mr. Dr. Evan Fusco is with us tonight. Mr. Doctor.
Hi, everybody.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
My cars are running. I don't have the new computer. I haven't even gotten the latest software update. It's a very sad day.
And it's Tesla.
And I had to do maintenance on my car.
What?
Today.
Change
your wiper fluid?
I had to add wiper fluid.
Again.
The struggle is real. Looking for an over-the-air update to take care of that in the future.
And last but certainly not least, from the other side of the country, Mr. Patrick Connor joins us from, what would you be? You would be the top left corner of the country. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, hello everybody, and I'm glad that Russell's got some of our rain. California needs to put out some of those fires, so I'm glad you guys are getting that. And I want to apologize to everybody from the who watched our Cybertruck event. I don't know what was going on with my mic that night, but I listened to the whole thing, and there was this screech coming from my stuff, and I apologize for that. And for our regular listeners, I'm going to redo a joke because there might have been people that missed it. So I drive a Model X. My wife drives a Model 3. But this year I bought a diesel. With one exception, my diesel's electrically powered. And it's rechargeable. And it's right here. It's on my wrist. This is my diesel.
Oh.
There you go. There you go. That's on with the show.
Evan slept since then.
So now you can officially go to the coal rolling Facebook pages and say you've got a diesel.
That's right. I sure can. Yep. I needed a new smartwatch, and this one was on sale.
Oh my goodness! My goodness. Well, we got a ton of news as we always do. It's kind of Cybertruck heavy since it just happened a little while ago, but there's a lot of it still out there. And what I wanted to to point out first is that if you guys are following our Twitter feed, that would be at the Tesla Life. We posted at the beginning of the week a 3D paper model that you can make your own Cybertruck. So you can print it off, cut it out very carefully, and once you do,
It's just like this.
Yeah, it ends up looking like this.
Oh,
cool.
Oh, very
you're a better
nice.
model builder than I am because mine just was flat.
I used to be really bad at building models when I was a kid because I wouldn't let the glue dry before I put another part on. But so I'd always have like glue on my fingers, but this one turned out really well. So
it's cool.
Very
That's one thing about
nice.
it having nice flat body panels is you can
They're
fold
very
one up
easy to
really
fold.
easily.
very easy to fold. Oh, Casey's going
Yeah.
to start on his right now.
This
Oh,
one is
yeah.
from Oscar and Hamish.
Ah, that's a different one. Okay.
Yeah. So I have a Tesla Cyberbook Facebook page where I shared these too. But you guys should go to the Tesla Life page to get these.
Exactly. So that's the Tesla Life #1 on Facebook. So excellent. And Patrick's the one that curates this for us. He's the one that puts up all these great articles and keeps it rolling. So we're really appreciative to that.
Just like rolling coal. No.
Our second story comes from Casey about what's been roaming the streets of Hawthorne, California recently.
Yes. So there
Vern
was,
Unsworth. Oh,
yes, him as well. So there was an Instagram post. So I find my share button, which is there. I click the button. Look at what we found roaming the streets of California.
What the heck?
Man,
Let's look at it again. Oh, look at how big it is compared to the Model X. I thought my car was big.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready.
it's a massive vehicle.
Who did we talk about? Who all reserved?
I reserved.
Okay.
I have
What's
not.
Casey?
I bought a reservation for a tri-motor.
Okay. So
Because
yeah.
who wouldn't want a giant truck that's only 10th lower than your P100D Model X?
yeah.
I know when the Mustang Mach-E numbers were at 3.5, I'm like, Tesla makes a truck faster than that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not everybody needs to be fast, but it was kind of funny.
We don't make slow cars.
That's right.
That's a Elon Musk quote there.
It is, yep. And
so
far,
just as soon as the reveal event was over, I guess that was the next day. They found it on the streets the next day. So they're testing now and have no problem showing it because it's no longer a secret. One of the best kept secrets I think Tesla's ever had.
Yeah.
That nobody saw anything about this truck, even though they did take it to a few places to do some filming for the promotional stuff. Nobody saw it. Nobody took a picture of it. Nobody leaked it. So interesting.
We,
Yeah.
we didn't even find out that the price was going to be lower than promised. I mean, Elon had been tweeting, oh, yeah, lower than 50, and then lower than 40.
that was a big shocker. Yeah, the range to dollar value is awesome. And I know we keep talking about how big the truck is, and I've heard people say, where are you going to park that thing? Where's it going to fit? Whatever.
In the driveway.
But if you have an F-150 today, this is the same height, the same length. It's going to fit wherever that truck fits, and there's lots of those on the road. So it's not like it's so big it's a behemoth.
Isn't it like an inch and a half, 2 inches shorter?
Right, yeah. So, I mean, they're very comparable.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I'll say to that is, if I were to buy one, currently my chargers are both on the back wall of my garage,
Oh.
and so you could say, oh, I guess I could try to run the cord outside, but it's probably not going to reach far enough to plug it in. So there would be that whole issue of I'd probably have to install an outside charger to plug it in. So people that do have those big vehicles and don't park them in their garage and park them outside, you're gonna have to find a way to accommodate that for charging purposes. And it's not an insurmountable obstacle, I acknowledge, but it's also not a simple transition like going from a Model S to a Model 3.
Right.
It actually fit more easily in my garage and easily reaches, and I didn't have to upgrade any chargers or install any additional wiring or anything like that. And so to that end, it is a little bit more of a problem, I think, for people.
I've got two solutions for you, Russell. So the first is if you buy
Russell, it's Evan.
Yeah, Russell.
Mr. Doctor to you.
I was looking at Russell. Dr.
I know it's normally Russell complaining about Tesla, but this time it wasn't. No drink.
Totally threw him off.
I've got two solutions for you there, Doctor. What you want to do is buy. Yeah, yay. You buy the. Stop it, Russell.
He's got the cue cards ready.
Wow.
You buy the solar package with the wings, and you can get anywhere from 15 to 50 miles regenerated per day. Or if your chargers that you have, so your EVSEs that you have are Teslas, then you can daisy chain them. And then put that on outside without having to rerun.
Still got to run wires.
Yeah,
run
but
wires.
a whole circuit.
Install a new circuit.
Has anyone ever seen a Tesla home charger extension cord? Has anyone even done that?
I have seen a J1772 extender, so with adapters you could make that work.
Yeah.
The supercharger extension cords that the Tesla uses for the Semi, and then the long ones that are at the service centers and on the mobile service pack. Yes.
And another thing is where are they going to put the charger port on the Cybertruck? No one saw that.
It's going to be in the fuel door.
Yep.
Yeah,
place.
it was right behind the rear tire.
Yep.
On the driver's side.
Just like an F-150.
Yep.
Okay.
So square.
In my garage, we've got one at the far end of the garage and one right by the door. So that makes it really easy if we had something in the driveway.
Oh, I had one more for you there, Evan. If your garage is a standard size, then you could park across both spaces and have the door open, and then it would just reach.
Maybe.
Okay, so a couple things. One, you ain't doing that.
Back in and leave your garage door open all night. No security issue there
not
at all.
gonna happen. And second, I won't say I'll eat my hat, but this solar thing ain't happening.
Ooh. Bet. All right. Who wants to take the other side of that?
Tasty hat, sir.
It's just not gonna happen.
I think
it doesn't make any sense.
It won't come out until the tri-motor, but I think they'll have something.
Okay, I don't think so. First of all, that whole roll-up tonneau cover thing, you're going to make that solar, and that's going to hold up with... no way. No way.
Well, it's going to be made out of solar tiles, too.
Yeah, solar tile glass.
Uh-huh. No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, it'll happen.
So maybe it'll be on a few vehicles, and it'll cost way too fucking much for any normal human being to buy, and it will add 0 range because nobody parks a car at the perfect angle to the sun all day outside. It just
give us at least 2 miles range.
Right.
Okay,
it doesn't have to be
give us something.
You get 2. You get 2 miles of range if you're not using the Sentry mode, which uses a mile of range per hour. So,
but if you're using that anyway, that's range you would have lost that it then compensates for. So
this is true.
And if you're if you want to park it somewhere in the if you're going on a trip and you park at the airport, well, now you're going to come back to something that at least has some range left and wasn't completely drained.
So your $10,000 add-on feature is going to buy you an offset of even generously 15 miles of range a day. It's not going to happen.
So speaking of
it'll happen, and it'll be by people who have a lot of money, who are buying.
So speaking of Sentry mode, will the new computer make it so that my car doesn't freak out if I leave it on all the time, or is it still going to need me to shut it down every now and then?
I don't know if the software
changed.
Right, I think
they said they fixed it before, and it didn't fix it.
What's freaking out? I don't have any freaking out.
I guess I'll have to turn it on all the time and see what happens.
What freaks out?
Oh, the cameras start shutting down when you go back and look at your footage. They're useless if it's on for 3 days in a row.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't look at all my footage. I only look at the events.
Yeah. And... but it corrupts them, literally to the point where, I'll save that. And you come back and it's like a picture of your trailer hitch. And all the other cameras are black.
Are you using a thumb drive or a SSD?
Right now it's an SSD, but I use all sorts of stuff in there. It just seems to be the act of leaving it on for more than 48 hours straight. It doesn't like it. Or at least the old one didn't.
I haven't gone beyond 48 hours myself. In fact, I haven't gone beyond 24 hours with Sentry mode on solid.
Keep testing it and reporting bugs.
Yeah.
That's one nice thing about them is they fix bugs quickly usually.
Yeah.
Next story, Model S clears 1 million kilometers in Europe. Who's got that story? That's Casey.
Yeah, I got that one. So, there's a Model X in Europe, and we got to see it take over from 99999 kilometers to 1 million kilometers. And was this the one that had the battery replacement, or was this the one that did it without the battery replacement?
I think it without.
It did.
Okay.
Oh. So yeah,
there were two.
the story that I read, it was with that they had changed the battery pack out.
Okay, so this one had one battery pack and 3 drive units.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Then the other one that didn't have a battery pack also had no drive units. So it's a good milestone, and this is the car that wasn't rated for 1 million miles yet, and so
with 1 million miles though.
Yes, but
621,000.
Right. Which is still more than the 500,000 that Elon promised for the newer Model 3s that don't have the new battery, which is phenomenal because this is a much older vehicle.
Yeah, that is awesome. That has been one of the big questions is how long are these packs going to last?
Exactly.
8 years. 12, I think they're going to do 12 years before to the point where they're going to give you the choice if you want to pay to upgrade or decide if what's left is enough to satisfy your needs.
Yeah, my Teslas have certainly been doing a lot better than my 2011 Nissan Leaf did. That one didn't do so well.
It's not a high bar there, Patrick. Oh, man. Well, next story, we've got a little bit of some new technology that they were showing recently at the Madonna Inn in California. This is a MegaPack mounted to a flatbed trailer with 8 superchargers mounted around the outside. And this is apparently to be a portable charger at overflow sites where there's a lot of activity, such as this past weekend being Thanksgiving. They put this extra 8 spots available to plug people's cars in and try to make longer lines shorter.
So, do you see the cables there that they've got? Those are the same ones that they use on the superchargers in the service centers, the ones that are inside the bays.
Right, so extra long.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that that this particular configuration was not plugged into anything. So the MegaCharger batteries were on their own. They weren't plugged into grid power, and we didn't get any report about how big the battery is in this MegaCharger. But it was put there for the weekend, and someone had come up to the driver or the Tesla person on site when they were setting it up, and they had indicated that if the MegaPack required further charging, they would take it out late at night and bring it back again early in the morning fully charged. Yep. I don't know where they would take it to get that quick of a charge, or if they had someplace nearby they would do this, but it was an interesting development.
Yep. There was another person who asked the handler of the pack there, and they indicated that they could do 175 kilowatts per station.
And that's interesting because if you just look at the picture, it looks like those are urban chargers.
Yeah.
Which are normally not rated that high.
Yeah, usually just 72.
Right. So and they've done some magic here that's pretty cool.
Magic.
Well,
without
engineering. He also indicated that they could run all of those at once. And so that would be probably DC to DC direct. And I'm wondering if they even have any equipment inside of these ones, because I don't see any supercharger cabinets. They would probably just pump them straight from the MegaPack into your car.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love the idea that this is carried by a diesel truck.
Well, it could have been a Tesla Semi, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, one step at a time. So last year when they were doing this, it was with diesel generators. So they've made a step by now bringing this big battery. And then the next step is to have it brought by a Tesla Semi. So we're on the right path. And this is one thing that's cool about Tesla. So I don't see any of the other EV makers that are rolling out things. This was for the Thanksgiving weekend. They know where people go. They know which stations were crowded last year. They know which ones they need to supplement. They already have the biggest network in the world, and then they're doing things like this using smart data to know where they need to supplement it. This is awesome. This is exactly what you need to make an EV your everyday car.
Exactly. Now, I think it would be cool if they took 2 of the existing supercharger cables and plugged it into the MegaPack and used it to just kind of like fill the buffer.
Right. It looks like they're blocking one of them anyway. So yeah, why not
Exactly.
also have it siphon some grid power so in the moments it's not being used, it can charge up a little bit.
Or while everybody's in the slow part of their charge.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like if it could trickle charge from the grid, I'm sure that would be a much better. That's probably an addition later on where they could just like leave a port when they put in a supercharger or add to it, leave a port available that one of these trailers could plug into, and you've got that trickle charge that could happen when it's not being utilized or being utilized a little bit.
That's a great idea, actually, because then they don't have to worry about burning out a supercharger cabinet because the one they would have would be on the MegaPack.
Exactly. So just put that in your suggestion box, Tesla, and that should help you out in the future.
Free on us.
Free
No
ideas.
charge. No charge.
just deploy one at each of our stations.
And has anyone on the panel ever been to the Madonna supercharger?
Now, Madonna has a supercharger?
Well, it's the Madonna. It's the Madonna
Madonna
Inn.
Inn.
Apparently, it's a
St.
very
Louis.
famous inn that's been around since the 30s.
Yeah.
And they have a very interesting men's room.
That's an understatement.
I've never seen one
Understatement.
like it in my life. It was
All right.
unbelievable that there was a waterfall in the men's room.
Was
Actually,
Waterfall the urinal?
Encourages emotion.
Actual rock and flowing waterfall as part of a men's urinal. Like it was
Wow.
crazy.
Interesting.
It was crazy.
Wait, you don't pee in the waterfall, do you?
You do. You
Oh,
pee in
no.
the waterfall.
Oh, that's
You can't
awesome.
help but pee in the waterfall. That's the thing.
They know this we don't want to
You
do
can,
anyway.
you can look
I
it
mean,
up.
my
If you
bucket
go to
list.
Google and you Google Madonna in urinal, they have pictures of this crazy waterfall that's inside the men's room. So
Google the Madonna in urinal.
why not? Why not? If someone's taking a photo, man, it's on Google somewhere. So
There's a
Not
show.
safe for work to be doing that stuff. The wrong thing might pop up in that.
yeah, we
Yeah,
don't
I
want
thought that-
we don't
I
want to be
thought that-
banned, but it was interesting. It was interesting.
I thought the Kettleman City and the Vegas Superchargers were cool, but now
No,
here's
no,
another one I
this-
got to go check out.
This is a different level, Patrick. A completely different
All
level.
right, we'll keep going, but I'm gonna post a picture of the most interesting men's room I've been in.
So where's this place at, Mark? Because I'm heading down
This
to
is
San
this is
Diego.
close to the Pacific Coast
San Luis
Highway.
Obispo. Yeah.
Correct.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So 101 and Pacific Coast Highway area.
All right, so I'll put it on the list, and as I'm driving down to Russell's place in July, I'll swing by.
Yep, that is something that you will want to see, Patrick.
All
Can't
right.
wait to see you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Next, we've got a little bit of an update about the new deep rain wipers update that we were talking about, I guess, 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
That there's a new over-the-air update that's starting to roll out. It was starting to roll out, and now it's been held back a little bit. Not as many people were receiving it, so they're either slowing it down purposely or there's something going on with the release that they have to correct. Because there's a number of people commenting about how it really slowed down from when it started. But this, of course, was to allow apparently the deep learning that they've taken in from people that pressing the wipe button on the car manually. It was sending that to Tesla so they could understand why it was being used instead of the automatic wiper setting when it was being added to supplement it, and they're trying to pull data in to make the wiper to be better at what it does than what it currently was. So we were anxious to see that because, of course, here in Southern Ontario, it is the rainy/snowy season, and we would love to have the wipers work a little bit better. We're basically on manual mode when we go out now because it just either doesn't wipe enough or it does it too often. So we're kind of in between.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this one as well. One of our members of the Charleston Tesla Club actually had it pulled from his queue. He hit the go button, and then the car did nothing. And then when he came back to try to do it again, it said you're up to date, even though it was still in the original version.
So they stopped it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a YouTuber who suggested that there was a regression where it no longer would vacate the fast lane. Like, you know how if you're in navigate on autopilot and it says, all right, navigating out of the passing lane, his car just stayed in the passing lane for 20 minutes. In his video, it was disappointing.
So there might be something else that has nothing to do with the rain in that update that they're trying to avoid.
Correct.
Could be.
Now, so from a technology perspective, the whole idea of deep rain and having an AI and a neural net that determines when you should wipe or not wipe is awesome. But this was a solved problem. This was not like
they had it on our old cars
to go. So it might be a bit excessive that this is the method that they're using. They have, if you want to have your AI people working on a problem, there are unsolved problems Tesla needs.
Let it go, Mr. Serious, okay? Tesla's about fun.
This is awesome, Russell. I love to see you on that side of the argument.
Because even with my Autopilot 1 car, which had a traditional rain sensor, which it never failed to wipe, but sometimes it was too slow, sometimes it was too fast. And we're finally back to that level after 2 years of developing the software.
It never failed to wipe, unquote.
Yes, I think our last show title was.
I
think our last show title was "I have to wipe myself." That was Mark Coughlin.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going downhill fast.
Dude wipes. Dude Wipes is the name of the show.
Good Wipes. So anyway, if we can now actually do better than the dedicated rain sensor, then it will have been worth the struggle.
Right.
Yes, we want to see, but man, maybe $1.50 rain sensor would have done a lot of good at this point. But,
yeah, they could have just trained it based on its own sensor and then just removed the part when it got this good.
Yeah. So. Well, we'll have to see when it starts to roll out a little bit more, and certainly I will report back what I find out in the wet weather. But
if it's still raining tomorrow, I'll let you know as well.
Yeah, they'll continue.
Cool.
So the next thing I wanted to share here was how big is the Cybertruck?
Window?
So
sorry, that's the men's room, and if I zoom in there, you'll see that this is in Africa, South Africa. And
of course,
notice the beasts.
It's not presenting. It's showing us.
Oh,
do it again.
Hang on. Let's see. Is it doing it?
There you go.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's scary.
Like the view while you stand at the urinal.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's my exciting.
Well. Work on getting the Madonna one too. Yeah.
I got a picture of it.
We're going downhill. There's no doubt.
Bad. We're going downhill.
But we just wanted to show how big the actual Cybertruck is compared to a Model S and a Model X below. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, it's not going to fit in Evan's garage. Not a chance. Right. It's just way too big.
I'm going to use it to hide my Model X.
You could hide many things. Maybe even a small boat would be able to be hidden behind this thing.
So I think that'll fit in my garage, honestly. Okay. But I'm going to have to move some crap from along the back wall, and there's no way you're walking behind it with the garage door closed.
Looking at where the it is behind the Model S. The fill door where you plug it in at.
Right there.
I was looking to see if the Cybertruck would knock over pedestals like the ICER trucks do, and it appears that it will just barely fit in the reverse installs.
Yeah, it's like the ones that you drive through. Man, you're gonna be real careful with this truck, maneuvering between pedestals. Definitely, you're gonna have to keep your eyes on what's going on because
and sometimes they put those signs up there too, like between the pedestals they'll put up a parking sign, they'll put it a little bit too close to the curb, and it's going to be,
and it's already hard enough with the Model X because it fills that spot, and this is even wider and longer.
Yeah, they're gonna have to move those curbs, or that thing will be backing up into supercharger stalls, no problem.
Yep.
Even if you feel the bump, just drive right over it.
not even a scratch.
Yeah,
didn't
even notice it. Yeah, I flattened 3 superchargers last week. Didn't even feel them. Nothing. Next, talk a little bit about the hidden compartments. Did you guys know that in the Cybertruck, there are some hidden compartments that they didn't get to in the actual demonstration? One of them, of course, being under the truck bed. That was the easy one to find. Yep. That they've got an area there where the lid pops off, and you've got like a sub basement underneath the truck bed, close to the tailgate of the vehicle.
I think there's a drain in there, like on the Honda Ridgeline.
Yeah. Well, that would make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, one of the other ones, of course, was the frunk, which was not shown, but there is a photo of it. You can click on the link that we'll share here as well. And then the other one was the triangle sail pillars that are on the side of the vehicle. Apparently, they flip up and reveal a compartment that you can store items in the sail pillar.
Yeah, Elon briefly touched on that, and it flashed behind him before his presentation went off the rails.
Mm-hmm. So there are 3 different photos that are attached to this particular article from what was it, Inside EVs, that we're sharing this from. So check on those. They're not great photos. They're very grainy photos. I believe they were taken from the video that was showing behind Elon during the presentation, but they were flashes that came up on the screen quickly. So some extra places for storage.
I wonder if Motor Trend got photos of this on either the real one or the clay one when they had their embedded exclusive.
They posted a lot of photos, but I don't remember seeing those.
Definitely not a sail pillar compartment. They might have done the front, but definitely not. I didn't know about the sail one until this article came out, actually.
Yeah, I wonder if they're even done yet. I mean, because they like we talked about, they did rush this model out. I mean, in fact, it's not even fully stressed skin. It's actually partially framed. On the ladder frame.
The word you're looking for is styrofoam.
No,
it's not styrofoam because it pulled it up.
Driving on the road. Come on.
Yeah, and it was driving on the road.
Russell, the ever optimistic.
That's why they only showed the driver's side, because the passenger side was all styrofoam. Don't hit that one with the sledgehammer.
Actually, it didn't exist. There was just a mirror halfway through the vehicle.
Oh,
exactly. I like that. There you go. It's a mirror halfway through the vehicle. That's why that whole steel ball Franz test.
Yeah, it was just it was destined to fail.
I could have broken the mirror in the middle, and everybody would have known it's only half a truck.
Next story, Evan, we're going to handle this from the tax incentive.
Yeah, a little mini story, mini opportunity if somebody's thinking they want to order a Tesla in the next few weeks. It's 17 months ago, the $7,500 tax credit fully expired after Tesla sold their 200,000th vehicle, and then it dropped by half. And then it's dropped by half again. So now the tax credit is down to $1,875, and that is going away at the end of December. So if you got to take delivery by December 31st on your vehicle to qualify for that tax credit. So order today. But it's it's a good news, bad news thing, right? I mean, Tesla's been very successful, and they've sold a lot of cars, and I guess that's the way this was designed, was to get people motivated and to sell them. And a lot of several of the other big manufacturers are also starting to hit their tax credit incentive expirations as well. But this is going away forever, unless we elect the Democrats again.
So this was part of the reason why we pulled the trigger when we did do our purchase. We got one of the last times you could get the unlimited internet for free, the unlimited supercharging for free, supposedly the FSD computer for no extra charge, and then he dropped the price by half. And no, he dropped the price for quite a while, and then also we were also one of the last groups to get the full $7,500 tax credit. So
Yep.
It does work.
But this is one thing that's nice here is that the cars have gotten a lot better. So it's not, okay, you got all those things when you got yours, but that doesn't mean that, oh, you've missed out and there's no chance.
No, but it's also one of the last cars with ventilated seats.
They brought that back.
And then they got rid of it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they've gotten rid of it twice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. So if you need ventilated seats and you've got the money to buy a Tesla and you see them, buy it, and then it'll be gone again.
So that's it for the federal credit at the end of this fiscal year, correct? That's
the US for Tesla.
Take delivery by the end of the year.
Unless the law is changed.
Yes.
Delivery and in service. So you have to have the keys and probably even put a mile on it, even if you leave it at the Tesla shop.
Right, but the law wouldn't change until 2022 at the earliest. By the time things go through the political system, it's not fast.
They did try to end it early and failed, thankfully.
Patrick is right.
So that cycle's done. I wonder if there'll be a slight decrease in pricing, maybe starting into next year. Tesla's done that now a couple times, where they've dropped the price a little bit after each part of the federal credit disappeared. So we'll have to see in the new year if something does change a little bit or not. But
I wouldn't count on it, as we keep saying here. If you see what you want, it's the price you want, get it now because stuff will change. But like Mark, I do see them possibly doing something, but I just wouldn't.
It wouldn't certainly add up to what's available today.
Right,
it's typically a little bit less than what's available right now. But now, and this kind of dovetails into my story, which the province of British Columbia, Canada, just recently announced that their EV sales have skyrocketed in 2019. This is a province that offers a number of incentives. They've got a provincial incentive of, I believe, $6,000. They've got a cash for clunker incentive of, I believe, $2,000. And there's a federal incentive of $5,000. So basically, you've got about a $13,000 check coming back for you, depending on what options you're able to collect. But during 2019, or up to the point where we are now, BC has now sold, in reference to the number of other cars in the province, I believe it's 9% of all sales of light passenger vehicles are EVs.
Awesome.
And that is more than a doubling of the rate of 4% that it was last year. So it's gone to 4 to 9%. Now those incentives, we had them in Ontario for a while. That's dropped off. Quebec has incentives that are very close to these incentives as well. So it is interesting that, again, incentives moves cars, especially EVs. It is something that, as in California, as in Colorado, as in other places across the world, it certainly moves things along at a quicker pace. And now they did say also that in this article that this is all EVs, obviously, but what they did say was that Tesla Model 3s alone made up about half of the applications to this. So it's a large chunk that Tesla is selling in the province, and that's not a big surprise. But they didn't give actual figures, but about half is what they indicate. So.
With some of these incentives, expensive vehicles don't qualify. Do you know if there's anything like that?
Yeah. There is a limit on the vehicle price tag. For the federal incentive, I believe it is a $45,000 for a base model. You could add on other things, and that doesn't count towards the dollar amount, but you need to have a base that comes in for $45,000. And then, of course, you've got a top end, I believe, of $60,000, and over the $60,000, nothing applies. So you've got to be in that sweet spot of between 45 and 60, or obviously lower. But 45 to 60 is the sweet spot that the federal government has set up. The province of British Columbia may have something slightly different, but I know they do have a top end that they over that they won't apply the credit to, which makes sense, absolute sense.
No performance for you.
Exactly. Next story again about the amount of in this case Model 3s being sold in California. Model 3 just recently outsold the Honda Accord to become the third best-selling vehicle in California. So we're now sitting at a position of number 3, and they're about to pass Toyota Corolla. Like they're within a couple hundred units of passing Toyota Corolla as well. So
awesome.
That would be pushing it into number 2. Currently number 3, but that amount of California vehicles, and again, California's got to be their number one selling state in the U.S. And by far. But that was kind of interesting that sales right up to this point in 2019, they've become number 3 and are knocking on the door of number 2. So very cool.
Yeah. This is the day we've been waiting for. We've been saying it's going to happen, and here it is. This is awesome.
Yeah, yep. I've been seeing reports showing that the health of the traditional automakers is not doing so well.
No.
And this is another indicator.
Yep. Yeah, well, they knew it was coming. When all those Model 3 reservations happened, it was pretty obvious that there was a demand, and no one but Tesla was really stepping up to fulfill it.
Yeah, I keep hearing people repeat, "Oh, there's no 35,000. Oh, and the people didn't finish their orders." And I'm like, how many have pushed out the door? And yes, you still can get the 35,000. You just have to sit through a timeshare pitch before you get it.
That's an interesting way of putting it. Yeah, you've got to say no. I don't want the timeshare in Florida. I just want the $35,000 car.
No, which is a little slimy, but
yeah.
Well.
Next story Russell's got for us about our friend Chelsea, who was out on assignment recently.
Who? Oh. Bizou says Mark. She knows Chelsea. Our friend of What Drives Us and, of course, of the Tesla Life. Chelsea Sexton, star of Who Killed the Electric Car and executive producer of Revenge of the Electric Car. If you haven't met Chelsea or know Chelsea, then let's just say she's a lifelong EV activist, and she has been very active since, well, before the EV1 program, which she was a part of. Chelsea has been doing some reporting for Robert Llewellyn's Fully Charged show, which is a show that features electric vehicles. Robert actually got her, and through some help locally there, her camera person, into the Cybertruck event. So Chelsea was there. She posted a video on the Fully Charged channel. You can find that at fullycharged.show. fullycharged.show. And it's a nice little 6.5-7 minute thing. She interviews a couple of people. This isn't a gotcha thing or looking for any sort of reaction. She was just there. You get to see lots of the fun Blade Runner-ish cyberpunk shenanigans with a Tesla coil and things like that. But there you go. Chelsea was there. It really happened. That's how I know about the mirror. Halfway down. Okay. I talked to Chelsea.
Your inside source.
So how do you explain the test rides, Russell?
I'm sorry.
The test rides.
All fake
sure.
news.
They happened. Definitely.
But it was interesting that Chelsea was speaking to people as they were just leaving the event, or were still milling around inside of it, and everything that we went through on the live show. Is that the real vehicle? Are they kidding us? Like, all those people she was interviewing quickly after, they all had the same exact feeling. They thought that maybe this was a joke, that something else was coming out, that they couldn't believe that was the actual vehicle. Nobody said, that's exactly what I picked. I knew that was coming out. There was none of that. So the audience was in shock. And it was interesting. Yeah. It was interesting to see her just let people explain what they thought they saw. And it was kind of interesting watching that video. And certainly, if you've never seen Who Killed the Electric Car or Revenge of the Electric Car, look them up on YouTube. They're available to be watched free of charge. So take a look if you haven't done that. They're worth a watch.
Simonne Gertz, who built the Truckla, she converted the Model 3 into a truck, was there in live recording when the thing came out, and I just thought it was her reaction was like perfect to like everybody else. Was like, no, that can't be it. And what's amazing about that, the whole, we kind of touched on it earlier, is Elon told us everything we needed to know what that was going to look like. I watched Blade Runner the night before, and I posted pictures of the couple of the vehicles, and guess what they look like? Yeah. and yet nobody could go from he's meaning conceptually.
Exactly.
He doesn't mean actually literally going to have those angles on it,
and that was the thing, is we didn't think he would go that far, and obviously he did. Obviously he went all out. Patrick, I don't know if you've adjusted your mic at all, but we seem to getting some feedback.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah.
Echoey and sounds like wind.
Oh, whoa. All right.
It also looks like you've adjusted your lighting.
I think you're off mic, my friend. And yeah, you've got some really nice spooky lighting, though. It's
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Is it better?
Same. Nope, same.
But what I wanted to do now is actually, Evan mentioning that about Simonne Gertz. I had a picture on the Twitter feed at the Tesla Life, if you're not following us now. And here's a shot of the two Tesla trucks meeting like ships in the night at the back lot of Hawthorne Studio. Mm-hmm. So Simonne was there invited to come along, and she brought her truckla. And I don't think she was supposed to bring the truckla.
She wasn't. She didn't. Yeah, she didn't initially, and then later on, she just like drove it in. She's recording. She's like, "Well, nobody stopped me."
Right. So Tesla initially invited them, and then they clarified, "No, we didn't mean you're inviting you in your car. We're inviting just you."
Just you. Yeah.
Leave that monstrosity outside.
So she went to the thing, and then I guess later on brought it and just kind of parked it on the side. It was kind of an interesting photo that was taken.
Yeah.
Was it like not punk enough or something? I mean,
yeah, it wasn't enough.
They tried to blame it on liability, and
you modify it like that. She should have been a celebrity that night.
Yeah.
I just wonder if they were like, oh, people might get confused if they see this Tesla.
That's probably really what it was, because there's no way that was liability.
Yeah.
Unless they were thinking that she was going to try to put it on stage and it would catch fire or something.
It would have been funny if at the reveal they rolled the truckla out. That's
what I was thinking. That would be awesome. Roll out her car, and then roll it out of the way, and then put the real one up. That would have, people would have loved it.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Whoops.
The Model 3 Camino? The
yes,
monstrosity.
Yes, indeed. Now, we have another story about a Mexican mayor who was so enamored with the new Tesla truck that he ordered 15 for his particular county, which is Mexico City area or suburb of Mexico City. Now, obviously, this is not the truck, how it's going to look. This is an artist rendering. The two guys in the back are obviously just photoshopped in. But the purple hubcaps and the nice purple heart where the headlight should be.
Purple roll bars.
I don't understand the color, but this is an artist rendering of what the vehicle is going to look like, I guess. But that was kind of interesting that he did put 15 on order for his municipality, and he feels that they're going to be a fabulous tool for saving money, as well as giving them the ability to police around that particular area of Mexico City.
Now, an interesting detail with that was he used his own personal money to do this. So that actually got him in a little bit of hot water because he didn't do official channels and purchasing.
He just did it himself.
Yeah. He could say, I was trying to get us a good spot in line. I think they might be able to find a way to do that, but I don't know what Mexican anti-corruption laws are like there. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly. Good luck is what you were looking for sure.
Yeah.
But no, so that's what we have for the show this week. Evan's doing an extreme close-up every once in a while.
Dude, Yeah, sometimes that camera like zooms in and zooms out, and
so you're scratching your nose. It's like
it's just zooms straight in. It's like a bad episode of SCTV.
Do it. I don't wonder what triggers it.
So if you haven't already, give us a like on the YouTube video. That puts us in the eyes of new people, gets us out front. If you haven't as well, subscribe, give us a new number. Please follow us through the week. Follow Patrick over at the Tesla Life #1 on Facebook. And follow our Twitter feed at the Tesla Life as well. And you'll see throughout the week stories that we typically comment on at the end of the week. And, of course, new things are popping up all the time in the Tesla Life. Any shout-outs, guys? Casey, what have you got to tell us about maybe some videos you're putting out there?
Okay, so I just posted a video about the Springfield, Virginia Supercharger review. And it was a blast. That's the closest one to me currently. And then, of course, whenever I get my vehicle back, there will be a video on the full self-drive computer experience. And you can find that online at youtube.com/CaseyGreen. That's KACEYGREEN.
Very good. Very good. Mr. Frost, I know that you've got something to promote. I really don't know, but I thought I'd just say that.
Gotta mention.
Anybody want to buy a watch?
There we go.
No,
we got a watch
I don't
for
know.
sale.
Hey, you know what? Me and most of these guys, at least everybody but Patrick, because Patrick doesn't like me anymore.
Too good for that.
Do a show called What Drives Us on Wednesday nights, coincidentally, which is absolutely no coincidence at all. And that show is going to be coming up in an hour. And so you can watch that later on this evening. And we'll talk about some different stuff that we didn't talk about here. That's our purpose. Otherwise, be sure you're following us on Twitter at the Tesla Life. That is the best Twitter follow you can do. Do follow that, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Very good.
I've got one more. So a new site has popped up. It's called trucksv2.com. It's for all of your Cybertruck needs. Right now it's hats and mouse pads and backpacks, but as the truck gets closer and the proprietor is able to get accessories measured for the vehicle, you'll actually see truck accessories on the website, which I think is kind of cool.
Gun turrets, stuff that would fit in the back of the Cybertruck.
Lift kits, new bumpers, a round steering wheel.
Put a couple 50 cals in those wings.
There you go. Yep. Those nice looking purple headlights that we saw in the Mexican version. I'm sure they'll be there.
Heart-shaped purple headlights.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely good.
Yeah.
So that's the word trucks and the letter V as in Victor and the numeral 2.com.
Very good. Mr. Fusco, what have you got for us? Maybe a shout out to the TMC? Anything at all?
Nah, I'm selling a set of referral rims for Model X if anybody wants them.
What size are those?
They're 22s, black turbines. They come with tires and pressure sensors and the whole deal. So, $6,800 on the Tesla site if you buy them from there. So, if anybody's looking for a better bargain, give me a holler.
Yeah, reach out to Evan on Twitter. I'm sure he'll be happy to unload those to you if the price is right.
I know somebody who drives a Tesla Model X.
But do they have it currently?
They don't currently have it. It's in a Tesla shop where they could get installed. The problem is that I specifically got the 20 so that we could do the full capacity towing. Although, once we get a Cybertruck, we won't need the Model X for towing anymore.
There you go.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Mr. Patrick Connor, what have you got for us this evening?
Hello, I am with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and we have a Facebook page and a Twitter feed. If you're interested in what's happening with EVs in Oregon, or just want to follow that stuff, we have a big controversy going on right now because at the beginning of next year, registration fees go up on electric vehicles, which is odd because the state has incentives for electric vehicles, and yet they have this disincentive with the higher registration fees. Lots of fun discussion going on around that.
Interesting. What's the difference? What kind of a rate increase are we talking?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but depending on how many years you register for, it can go from like $300 to $600.
Whoa!
So yeah, it's a little more spendy than it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure they still have a fossil fuel subsidy.
Right, at every gas pump, our army is a subsidy to every gallon of gas that's purchased.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, that's great. We want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in with us, watching us at our premiere, or if you're watching us any other time, that's fine as well. But tune in next week and see what's going on in the Tesla life.
Thank you, Lee Moon.
Yes, indeed. Lee supplies us with the music every week.